Hi all, you are watching a fragment of the Countdown program from January 25, 2024. Today is Thursday. See all of ours in full on Patreon. And thanks to everyone who is becoming our patrons right now. I'll talk about the themes of the postscript later, but now about the most important thing. Last night the Russians attacked Odessa again. And near Avdiivka they are preparing another offensive. The occupiers are preparing for a new attack on Avdiivka and have already transferred 40,000 reservists to the city. Among the stormtroopers are prisoners recruited for the war and the Storm Z and Storm V units. Ukrainian intelligence also has information about the occupiers' formed tank point with new tanks that will participate in the assault on Avdiivka. The Ukrainian armed forces are preparing for this assault, but in fact a new battle has already begun. Most likely, taking Avdiivka at any cost was ordered at the highest level. After all, before the fascist event to re-establish Putin, the electorate must be presented with at least some kind of victory or its semblance. At this time, the Ukrainian armed forces advanced 2 kilometers southwest of Malinovka, in the Berdyansk direction. Well, in the meantime, the Russians are desperately attacking Kharkov and Odessa. At night, Odessa was attacked twice by drones, 6 people were injured. An industrial facility was hit, residential buildings and civilian infrastructure were damaged. Today's attack in southern Ukraine showed that Russia is resorting to new drone tactics and preparing powerful attacks on Ukraine. The Russians began to resort to tactical tricks, using low passage of drones over water and making the detection as difficult as possible for air defense systems. The drones approached residential areas, although they also maneuvered among industrial areas. Let us note that the armed forces of Ukraine do not remain in debt. For example, this night the Tuapse region was attacked by drones, as a result of which the local oil depot caught fire. According to an unnamed source, after 2 powerful explosions tonight, a large-scale fire started there. The installation for the primary processing of petroleum products, namely the vacuum and atmospheric columns, was damaged. The airport in Sochi was closed due to an air raid, and in Belgorod the siren sounded again. Moreover, the fire covers the enterprises of the racists even without the intervention of the Ukrainian armed forces. In the Krasnoyarsk territory, a powerful fire with an area of more than 1,700 m2 engulfed an airboat production workshop. The Russians are trying to use the accident with the Il-76 military transporter, which was either shot down or fell on its own, to undermine the West's desire to continue to provide military support to Ukraine. The fake news that there were supposedly Ukrainian prisoners of war on board who were being transported for exchange is aimed specifically at discrediting the military leadership of Ukraine. They say they don't care about their own prisoners of war, about whom we care so much. In fact, the Russians do not fight according to the rules. And the very fact that Simonyan has already published a list of supposedly dead Ukrainians suggests that they, most likely, are really no longer alive. Become our patrons right now and look further in this program. The commander of the Estonian Defense Forces, Martin Herem, said that NATO underestimated the militaristic capabilities of Moscow. And British Chief of the General Staff Patrick Sanders said that Britain can no longer count on a small professional army and must prepare an army of citizens, in case of a large-scale land war. The Slovak press is perplexed when analyzing the sudden change in the rhetoric of Prime Minister Robert Fico, who has demonstrated unexpected flexibility in his positions. The cave has its own showdowns. The Moscow City Court sent homegrown FSB terrorist Igor Strelkov-Gherkin to prison for 4 years. Watch in the program, Postscript. Putin unexpectedly arrived in Kaliningrad. The fate of this enclave worries the Kremlin. After Sweden joins NATO, this territory may be under blockade. So Putin arrived before making any decisions. In the United States, debate continues on the topic of elections and the possible exclusion of ex-president and Republican favorite Donald Trump from the election process. And that is all. Become our patrons and watch all our programs in full. And I applaud those who are doing this right now. Hugs to everyone. See you tomorrow in the final live broadcast. Glory to Ukraine.